my channel. And if you're new here, hello, my name is Carla and I am a makeup enthusiast that loves to create looks and just have fun with makeup that I already have. I love to do project pan, shop my stash, and occasionally I do like to buy some new makeup and review it for you guys. So if that is something that you're interested in, don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. Alright guys, in today's video I'm going to be guiding you on this eyeshadow look. It's gonna be a very friendly a very beginner friendly tutorial on how to create this neutral eyeshadow look. So if you are new into eyeshadows or into makeup, definitely watch this video. It will help you a lot. And for this, guys, I'm gonna be doing just the most simple things, or using the most simple things, not a whole lot of brushes, not a whole lot of eyeshadows. Like I said, very friendly, very beginner friendly. So let's start with the brushes that we're going to be using. These are 3 Morphe brushes. These ones you can get them at Ulta. So these ones are the Morphe M332. This one is a flat, it's kind of a little bit of a fluffy but more flat brush. This one will help with the outer corners. Then you also have the Morphe M573. This one is a fluffy brush, as you can see, and has a little bit more of a round top or round tip. This one will help with the crease. And last but not least, we have the Morphe E18. This one is a tiny brush over here that, you know, has a, it's very like dense and more, a little bit more stiff. This one will help with little details like the bottom lashes. Okay guys, now for the eyeshadow, all you need to have is a neutral eyeshadow palette, no more than that. I am going to tell you which one I will be using. And I'm also going to link it down below in case if you want this eyeshadow palette, but just remember, you don't need to have like this exact same eyeshadow palette to get a look like this. You can get something very similar with something that you already have. This one is the Bare Necessities from ColourPop, and I really like this eyeshadow palette because it has all the neutrals that you can possibly need. And even more than that, it has like some mauves over here and some more copper tones. I don't know, it's just beautiful whenever I want to, you know, create something simple. And also I love this one just for traveling because, again, very simple, very neutral. I don't have to think a whole lot about the look that I'm making. And if I want to do something else, something extra, I have this here, the other tones that I can use. So this is the one eyeshadow palette that I will be using, but again, you don't need this one. You can create this with any other eyeshadow palette that you have. Alright guys, like I said, I'm going to be guiding you through this tutorial step by step. Grab your stuff and let's go ahead and get started. Okay guys, and my first recommendation for you is to start with a bare face. Do not put all of your base makeup first, because if you do, and then you discover that some of your eyeshadows have a lot of fallout, then that's going to ruin the rest of your face or your makeup. That way you can assess the quality and how much fallout your eyeshadows have, and after that you can decide, you know, if you want to do your base first and then eyeshadow, or if you want to continue doing, you know, your eyes first. Anyway, let me zoom you in and we're going to start with the eyes. Alright guys, so you want to start by prepping your base. I recommend using an eyeshadow primer. This is going to help the eyeshadows blend easier, plus it's going to make them last longer. In the lack of an eyeshadow primer, you can also use just a normal concealer. Here I have the e.l.f. Hydrating Caramel Concealer. I'm going to be using this one, and I'm just going to apply a little bit on my eyelids. And then I'm going to blend it. Now that you have applied your base, it's important that you set this. You can use a translucent powder, or in the lack of it, sometimes what I've used also is just an eyeshadow very close to my skin color, or sometimes a little bit lighter if I want the eyeshadows to stand out. So in this case, I'm going to be using this shade over here from the Bare Necessities called Full Expose. To set this, I'm going to grab the Morphe M573, this one over here, the fluffiest brush, and I'm just going to grab a little bit of this. And always tap the excess. Always tap the excess. This is gonna make it easier for you to not overuse product and then having a difficult time blending or trying to tone something down. It's always easier to put on more product than it is to try to take away or tone down any eyeshadow. So just take that in consideration whenever you apply your eyeshadow. Always grab a little bit and tap. So you can see over here, I'm just setting everything. And I don't know if you can see the difference from this one to this one. This one is already all matte, as of this one still looks a little more shiny and starting to crease a little bit over here because it's not set. So I'm gonna blend this over here a little bit, and I'm gonna grab a little bit more eyeshadow. Tap. I don't know if you saw all of that, but yeah, that's a lot. And just set all of this concealer. Alright guys, so now we're going to start with a fun part. We're going to start with the actual eyeshadow look. For this, we're going to start with the crease. For this, you want to use your biggest and fluffiest brush. So I'm going to keep using the same one that I used to set everything down over here. And for this, I'm going to choose a shade that is light, but also darker than my skin tone. This is going to help as a transition shade. This is going to be your lightest shade, and everything from this is going to get just deeper and deeper. So for this, I'm going to be using the shade Hot Gossip. This one over here is right down here, that the one that I use. And as you can see, it's a very neutral shade. It's still brownish, but dark. I mean, not as dark. So this is the one that I'm going to apply on my crease. And I'm going to grab a little bit over here. And remember, always tap. Look. You see all of that? All of that is excess eyeshadow that you don't need, and if you apply it as it is without tapping, you're just going to get a crazy amount of eyeshadow, and it's going to be very hard for you to blend, and it's going to make just things way more difficult than it is. So we're going to start applying this on the crease. The crease is this part of my eye where you see like a little deep, you know, where your eyes kind of like, you see the ball right here? That's your crease. Anyway. So we're going to start applying this in circular motions with your biggest brush. Just like this. And going towards the middle. Towards the inner corner. And just do it again. Honestly, guys, with eyeshadow, it's all about patience whenever it comes to blend. And for this, I forgot about this, guys. Whenever you grab your brush, don't grab it from here. Like, this is just gonna make it so much harder for you to blend, because you're gonna have a very harsh grip. Always grab your brushes from the middle or the end. So I usually like to grab my brushes almost from the end. So from here is where I start, and I just, like I said, slightly and very lightly, I just go inwards with circular motions. Make sure that everything seems seamless and that there is a nice transition between this part, my eyebrow bone, to my shade, to the shade that I have over here. As you can see over here, it's a little bit patchy, so I'm just going to keep blending in circular motions until that looks better. Sometimes you don't have to do all the circular motions. You can also do this as a windshield wiper motion, it's called. I always mess that name up, but you know, like a wiper from your windshield. You know, you go like this. You can do the same, also very lightly, never putting a lot of pressure. As you can see, this already looks seamless. You also see some definition from your crease from this eye to this eye. So let's go ahead and do the other eye. Alright guys, as you can see, we already have both of our eyes defined. Just make sure that everything looks the same color. Not that you have one darker and the other one lighter, but I think this looks great. Maybe a little bit more over here. Yeah, I think that's perfect. Awesome. So we're going to go in with the second color, and for this we're going to use the next brush. This is going to be the Morphe M332. This one is a bit more of a denser brush. It's still fluffier, but it's not as big as the other one, as you can see. And this one will help just pack everything in the outer corner and also bring it a little bit inside, you know, your crease. So for the next color, we want to choose something that it's darker than our crease. So for this, I'm gonna be choosing, I think I'm gonna go in with Velveteen, this shade over here. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit again and tap. Now with this one, you wanna start just packing everything in your outer corner like this. Just tap, 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 tap. And again, if you think, oh no, this doesn't have enough, just remember, it's better for you to have a little product than way too much product and making it harder for you to blend it. So I'm just gonna tap and brush inwards a little bit. And as you can see, there's already color over there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab a little bit more product, tap once, and apply a little bit more. Just like that. Just gonna tap. Now that I have tapped enough and I have deposited as much color as I wanted to, I'm gonna start blending. How am I gonna do this? I'm gonna use circular motions inwards, just like this. And again, don't forget to grab your brush from the middle to the end of your handle. And as you can see, we have been blending over here. It's looking nice and blended. I think I am happy with how this looks. I'm gonna start with the other eye. Alright guys, now this is the time where you check that both of your eyes look the same. They have the same intensity. So let's see. I think I like it. I think there's a little bit of patchiness over here, so I'm gonna fix this by applying, just by blending a little bit more. It's like the eyeshadow is not sticking to this part of my eye. How do you fix that? You either keep blending or you try to apply a little bit more product. Just a tiny bit though, not a whole lot. So I'm gonna start by blending, and if that doesn't fix it, then I'm gonna add a little bit more product to this part of my eye that if I feel like it's not, the eyeshadow is not sticking very well to. Let's see. Okay, I think it looks better. Alright, and before I continue with the next eyeshadow, I'm going to grab my first brush again, the Morphe M573, and this is the fluffy brush with no product. Again, no product. I'm just going to go ahead and just make sure that everything is seamlessly blended by doing a little bit of circular motions here on the outside and windshield windshield wiper, you know what I'm trying to say. Again, very lightly. Alright, I think that's good. And if you think that this needs a little bit more depth, you can always just grab a little bit more product, tapping it out, and just try it and keep blending to make it deeper. In my case, because I want this to be a very eye-day look, a very friendly beginner, I'm just going to leave it as it is. And now we're going to go in with our third eyeshadow color. This is going to be the Shimmer, and this one is going to go on our lid. So for this, I decided to use the shade Silk Teddy, this one over here, and I'm just going to apply this one with my finger, guys. So just grab your finger without pressing too much. And just grab a little bit, do a little bit of a swirl, tap. You have some on your finger, and you're just gonna go ahead and apply that to your lid like this. Just tap. You see that? Tap, tap, tap. This is a very beautiful shade. And you don't have to go all the way to the outer corner. Remember, you want to keep the outer corner dark. And actually, we're gonna go back in and apply a little bit more just to make sure that we blend this. But let's finish first with the lids. Alright guys, and now I'm gonna go back in with the second brush, the one that we used for the outer corner. This is the Morphe M332, and I'm just gonna grab a little tiny itty bit of product. This was the shade Velveteen over here. Just one tap. And I will make sure that I blend the shimmer with this one. So I'm just going to pass it a little bit on the edges of that shimmer. And I'm going to blend inwards. That way I don't bring the shimmer all the way out. Now back in with our first brush, I'm just gonna make sure that everything is also blended on the crease right here. So I'm gonna start over here and just bringing it outwards. Alright guys, so we are done with this part of our eyes. I'm gonna go ahead. This is the part where you go and do the rest of your face makeup. So that's exactly what I'm gonna go and do. I'm gonna do the rest of my makeup and I will be back to finish with the the bottom lashes. Alright guys, I wanted to do a quick pause over here and record this and share this with you. For the under eye area makeup, I'm going to be using my normal concealer, but this is a tip that I wanted to give you in case that you are interested in, is that whenever you put your concealer, you're gonna do this over here in your inner corner, and then to not mess or to actually help define your outer corner, what you can do is just grab this and trace a little line like that. That way you clean your eyeshadow just like that, and now you're just gonna blend. I'll see you whenever I'm done with the rest of my makeup. Alright guys, so I am back. We're gonna finish with this eye look by doing the bottom lashes. For this, we're gonna be using the Morphe E18 brush. This one is a very tiny brush, as you can see, very dense, very compact, and this is going to help us create a very defined line on our bottom lashes. So we're going to grab the first shade, which is going to be Velveteen, this one over here. You're just going to grab a little bit, tap the excess, and okay, so we're going to start by looking a little bit down, but with your mirror are a little bit up. And the way you want to do this is just put it very, very close to your outer corner and start with a very light hand again, bringing it in and connecting these two parts, the lid and the bottom lashes. Now, after you're done with that, you just want to make sure that everything looks seamless and connected. I think over here it completely does. It connects to the outer part of my eye, and it's the same color, that's why we want to use the darkest shade over here. So we're going to do the same thing with the other eye. And if at any point you feel like you need a little bit more product, go ahead and grab a little bit more. Just remember to always tap your brush to remove the excess of it. Now that we have done that, we're going to go ahead and grab the very first brush that we had. You're going to apply just a tiny bit of product on the tip of your brush. This one was the Morphe M573. And just going to grab a little bit more of that very first shade that we got, which was Hot Gossip, and tap. And you're just going to run it along your lower lash line, making sure that that shade, that darkest shade that you got, it gets completely blended and looks seamless and not like a harsh line just on your bottom lashes. And as you can see, guys, I don't know if you see the difference between this one and this one. This one looks a little bit harsh or like a little bit more dark, just darker. And this one looks completely blended and just natural and seamless. So let's grab a little bit more and go ahead and do the other eye. Okay, I'm happy how this looks right now. We're just going to go ahead and highlight our inner corners for this. Guys, I do this all the time. I only use my pinky finger, and I'm going to grab the lightest shimmer that I have over here, or whichever one is your preference. You just try to go a little bit lighter than the one that you have on your lid, because that's a point of highlighting your inner corner. I'm going to go ahead with Idle Hour, and I'm just going to grab a little bit on my pinky, on the tip of my pinky over here, just like this. And I'm gonna apply it in my inner corner like this. I don't know if you can see the difference between this one and this one. I'm actually gonna go ahead and apply a little bit more. And that is perfect. So just go ahead and do the other eye. Perfect. Now you can also go ahead and highlight your brow bone with this. Again, just my same pinky finger, and just clean the excess on your hand. Otherwise it's gonna get too bright. So just with whatever is left, go ahead and tap it over here. Oops. And as you can see, it's a little bit highlighter more than this one is. Just a tiny bit. Now guys, this is it. If you want to apply some eyeliner, you can go ahead and do that, or some water eyeliner, which I am actually going to do. For this, I'm just going to use my Pixie by Petra Eye Bright Liner in the shade Nude Number 1, or Number 1 Nude, something like that. And I'm just going to put it over here on my water line. Just like that. And as you can see, it just opens your eyes. It makes them look bigger, makes them look brighter. That's why I like using this type of eyeliners more than dark ones. Now guys, I'm just gonna go ahead and apply some mascara, and I will be back. Alright guys, this is it. This is the final look. I only applied 2 coats of mascara and some lipstick. I will link in the description box down below every single one of the products that I use here, especially the brushes, because I feel like that's the most important part of this tutorial. For everything else, I think it just follows the same theory or process. For the process of the eyeshadow, you don't need to have this eyeshadow palette to recreate this look. I feel like you can, like, this theory or these steps apply for any single eyeshadow palette out there. Always go with the lightest shade on your crease, then go on your outer corner with a shade darker than that one. And even if you want to deepen it out a little bit more, you can always go ahead and apply even a darker shade over here, like just on the very tip of your outer corner, and just blend that. And again, for your bottom lashes, just go in with your darkest shade first, and then your lightest shade on top of that, so you make sure that you blend and difuminate everything as seamless as possible. For your lid, always go in with a shimmer shade, or not necessarily. You can always use, just another matte shade that you want to use. I would suggest maybe a lighter one for your lid. And for your inner corners, always go in with also a very light shimmer shade. And in case that you don't have one, you can also go in with a highlighter. But yeah guys, that same principle applies, like I said, for any single eyeshadow palette out there. Anyway, I feel like I've been talking a whole lot, and this video is probably going to be very long because it's a tutorial. So I am just gonna say goodbye over here, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you're still, watching at this point, please make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click on that bell notification button so you don't miss any one of my videos. And I will see you next time. Bye!